Hello guys and welcome here. My name is Yassine. In today's video we are going to talk about pivot tables inside of Microsoft Excel. So before we even start this little tutorial, what will be important in this lesson is for you to have a little database. So this is what I have done here. So I have a little database with countries, cities, types of homes, the size of each home, and the price. Of course, that's not very accurate regarding the price. Maybe it's more, maybe it's less. But the important part is really to just have a database. Now, what exactly we are going to work with? As I said, we are going to work with pivot tables. So to use a pivot table, it's pretty simple. You just go on the Insert tab right here, and here you will have various pivot tables. What exactly is a pivot table? So a pivot table will simply, it's a table that will simply allow you to analyze a little bit better your database. So you'll be able to analyze, for example, all the houses, all the types of houses inside of a certain country. For example, you'll be able to analyze the price per country, the price per city. You'll be able to analyze the sums of prices per type of home, for example. So you'll be able to see it. So let's try it out with our little database. So if we select this database right here and we click on recommended pivot table, you'll see right there is various pivot tables that will appear. So we have, for example, sum of all prices for Canada, sum of all prices for France, for UK, for the US. So this is not really irrelevant information for our case, but we can, if you have any other database, this could be relevant, for example. Those are just some recommended pivot tables, of course. Here, for example, we have sum of prices by cities. So the price, how much, what is the sum of all the real estate that is available in each city? For example, let's say you have a database of all the real estate of various cities throughout a country. You'll be able to have all the sums of all the real estate of a certain city. You have the sum of all square feet, for example. So it's pretty interesting. Once again, in our case, what we want to work with will be a blank pivot table. So we'll just click on the button right here, and there you will have a blank pivot table. So as you can see, right here we have all our pivot table fields. So to work with those fields, it's pretty simple. A little example of how we can work with them. Let's say we have our countries, we can take them and drag them inside of rows right here. So here we have pretty much all our countries that appear. Now, let's say we want the cities that are inside of each country. We can just grab the cities and bring them inside of row as well. And as you can see here, for Canada, we have 3 cities. We have Montreal, Ottawa, Toronto. For France, we have Lyon, Paris. For the UK, we have London. For the US, we have Boston, Miami, and New York. Now we can add some other elements inside of our pivot table. So let's say we want to have the types of home that are available in each city. So we can take the types of home and add them to value. And here what's going to happen is that we are going to have different types, all the types of homes that are going to appear. Once again, here we know that there is four houses that are available in Canada, 2 in Montreal, 1 in Ottawa, 1 in Toronto. If we take the value and we drag it in rows, as you can see, we will only see that there is condos and townhouses available in Montreal, a condo available in Ottawa, a townhouse available in Toronto. So this is pretty much a way that you can work with it. If, for example, we take our type of home and put that inside of row as well as inside of value, here you'll be able to see a more detailed pivot table. So we have, for example, our Montreal, we have 2 houses. We have 1 condo, 1 townhouse. For Ottawa, we have 1 condo. For Toronto, we have 1 townhouse. So as you can see, we know that in Canada, there is 4 houses, and we can even close it. So same thing for France, same thing for UK. Now we can do the same thing with the price. We can take our price. Let's start with the size at first. Bring our size right here. And as you can see here, we are going to see the size of each of our, real estate property. So for example, here we know that in Canada there is 3,400 square foot of real estate property. Of course, there is way more, it's just for the purpose of this example. We know that in Montreal we have 1,750 square foot. So we have divided into real estate, so a condo and a townhouse. If we add the last part, which is the price, we can take the price, bring it here as well. And now it's even more and even better divided. As you can see here, we have our prices for each property. We have our sum of prices and we have our grand total right here. So it's really, really simple. Let's say we close everything. Let's say we are looking for a house inside of the US. So we open up, we have all our cities right here. We know that there is a house in Miami. We know that there is a house in New York. We can compare the prices. So 950,000 for the house in Miami and 1,200,000 for the house in New York. So this could be a good way for us to compare the price of real estate, for example. So this is how you can work with pivot tables. As I showed you right here, you can have, well, here we only have 5 variables, but we can have way more than 5 variables. If there are some variables that I want to delete, for example, let's say that the type, well, not the type of house, but let's say how big the house is not important. I can just remove it. And as you can see, it has been removed from my pivot table. So this is how we can use the pivot table and how you can work with pretty much various variables. So if we check it out, as you can see, it will disappear from our pivot table. So pretty simple and a pretty amazing tool to work with on Microsoft Excel. So once again, if you have found value in this video, don't forget to leave a like, to subscribe, and see you in another of my videos.